All right, welcome to the Explainer. Look, today we're embarking on a massive visual journey. We're going to completely transform how you see one of the absolute most photographed islands on Earth, Bali. We're moving way beyond those standard tourist traps to uncover a totally authentic, visually stunning guide. So if you're looking for the ultimate inside track to capturing truly epic content, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it.
Okay, we're going to efficiently unpack 35, yes, 35 of the absolute most epic, hidden photo locations scattered all across the island. We've distilled the very best data, local guides, and professional photography insights so you'll know exactly where to go, exactly when to arrive, and most importantly, how to shoot it.
But first, we gotta ask the million-dollar question. How do you actually avoid the crowds to find Bali's best secret views? I mean, how do you bypass those staged 2-hour Instagram lines to discover genuine, untapped magic? Well, it takes a mix of insider geography, timing, and really understanding what's real versus what's just a well-constructed set.
Which brings us to Section 1, the iconic Bali illusions.
Now, to understand the secret spots, we actually have to deconstruct the famous ones first. Just look at the stark contrast here. On the left, you've got Handara Gate. Now, this is a real physical structure, a stunning entrance to a golf course, actually. But you're going to need a wide-angle lens, and you absolutely have to arrive before 9 a.m. to beat the crowds. But on the right, Limpuyong Temple. Come on, we've all seen it. That iconic split gate with the flawless reflection of Mount Agung in a perfectly still lake. While, spoiler alert, the lake isn't real. No way, it's literally just a local guide holding a small piece of mirror directly beneath your smartphone lens. It's a brilliant illusion, sure, but one that's going to cost you a 2-hour wait in a queue.
And you know, that same curated illusion really extends to Bali's day clubs and agritourism spots. Places like Ala Sarum and Wanagiri Hidden Hill, they're literal playgrounds for content creators. We're talking giant nests, huge swings, glass-bottom platforms, the whole shebang. Venues like Kretio Ubud have these perfectly tiered infinity pools, while 180 Day Club actually features a glass pool jutting out over a sheer cliff. Look, these locations offer incredible, curated backdrops, absolutely. But they require strategy. You have to pay for specific activity props, check the minimum spends, and adhere to strict dress codes.
Moving right along to Section 2, hidden jungles and waterfalls.
Let's step away from the staged clubs for a second and travel deep into the lush interior, because this is where Bali's raw beauty really shines. Take Phuket Chapung Waterfall, for example. It's tucked away in a cave gorge, and if you time it right, arrive right around 10 to 11 a.m., you get these cinematic sunbeams piercing straight through the rock ceiling. It is incredible. Then you've got Gembleng Waterfall, featuring a natural jungle infinity pool with sweeping valley views. Oh, but a quick word of caution when you're exploring the jungle, especially around the sacred monkey forest. The macaques are incredibly fast, seriously. You must guard your loose items, sunglasses, phones, snacks, because these monkeys will snatch absolutely anything they think is food.
And honestly, here's the best part. Take a look at how accessible these natural wonders are compared to those expensive day clubs we just talked about. You can get into Phuket Chapung for just 30,000 Indonesian rupiah. Guys, that's roughly $2. And Gembleng Waterfall? Entirely donation-based. It's authentic, breathtaking, and incredibly budget-friendly.
All right, Section 3, coastal cliffs and golden hours. Moving away from the dense green jungles, we arrive at the island's dramatic edges. These spots are visually striking because of their totally unique geography. To access Uluwatu Beach, you literally hike down a cliffside path and emerge through a cave. Up in Ahmed, the aesthetic completely flips to black volcanic sand lined with traditional Jungum boats. Over at Melasti Beach, there's actually a staged shipwreck that has become a massively creative photo backdrop. And when the sun dips behind the cliffs at places like Bingen Beach, the sky shifts into these unbelievable shades of red and blue. It is absolutely perfect for that golden hour shot. So the crucial point here is matching the vibe you want for your sunset experience. On one hand, you have the intense, high-energy party atmosphere of Savaya Beach Club. It's a massive open-air dance floor with strict nighttime dress codes. But contrast that with the Coraway in Uluwatu, which offers these secret, peaceful wooden cliff rooms. You can quietly watch the sunset from a sunbed while monkeys just hang out on your terrace. Same coastline, two completely different worlds.
Let's head to Section 4. Untapped Secrets of the North.
As we travel up to the untamed landscapes of North and East Bali, the backdrops become completely unexpected. Up in Lovina, you can take a Jukum boat out at sunrise to witness wild dolphins. But honestly, perhaps the most surprising spot is Tian'er Savannah. During the dry season, this wide-open grass field looks absolutely nothing like Bali. It looks surprisingly like an African safari, complete with Mount Agung just looming in the distance. And speaking of Agung, spots like Bukit Cinta and the wooden tree platform at Lahongan Suite, they offer the most breathtaking, unobstructed views of Bali's tallest and most sacred volcano.
Now, if you are looking for those iconic green rice paddies, you really have a choice to make. Tagalong is world famous, sure, but it is packed with crowds, zip lines, and paid swings. If you want to trade those crowded props for sweeping, majestic, natural scale, you should honestly skip Tagalong entirely and head straight over to the Jatilui rice terraces. They are massive, they're peaceful, and they offer a truly authentic, commercial-free experience that captures the island's true agricultural beauty.
Of course, no trip to the north is complete without conquering an active volcano. But fair warning, it requires serious commitment. A typical Mount Batur sunrise trek means waking up at 2 a.m., starting a steep hike in pitch dark by 4 a.m., all to finally reach the summit by 6 a.m. It's grueling, it's cold, but let me tell you, standing above the clouds as the sun rises over the crater, that is the ultimate, unstageable reward.
Okay, finally, Section 5. Pro tips for perfect shots.
We've got the locations down, so let's talk execution and etiquette. Photographing active cultural sites requires deep respect, folks. At Tirta Empul, where locals perform the sacred Melocut purification ritual, you are capturing a living tradition, not just a photo op. At all temples, wearing a sarong is mandatory. Furthermore, you really need to understand the environment. For instance, if you want a photo on the sand at the famous Tanah Lot Ocean Temple, you absolutely must check the tide schedules, because at high tide, that path is completely submerged.
Now, a professional photographer's schedule in Bali is very strict when it comes to light. The rule is simple. Shoot early in the morning for blue hour and zero crowds. Midday light in Indonesia is incredibly harsh, hot, and just unflattering. Pros use this time to eat, rest, and scout locations in the shade. Then, they return to the field in the evening for the golden hour and sunset. So treat that midday block as scouting time, not capture time.
I really want you to internalize this vital piece of advice. Slow is the only honest speed for documentary work. Connection is everything. Please, don't just point a camera in a local's face. Ask permission, build rapport, share a cup of chai. And crucially, never just offer money for a photograph. Tipping for photos instantly creates a transactional dynamic that completely degrades the authenticity of your work.
Finally, let's talk about your toolkit. Physically, you'll want a 16 to 35mm wide-angle lens to capture the massive scale of places like Handara Gate, along with a versatile 24 to 70mm and a 7200mm. Digitally, the secret to that highly sought-after cinematic Bali look is restrained warmth. Instead of pushing high contrast, professionals lift the shadows, reduce the saturation on the intense greens, and add a slight warm split tone. This produces a rich, natural travel look without crossing into that kitschy, oversaturated postcard territory.
So we've covered the illusions, the hidden jungles, the dramatic cliffs, and the untamed north, along with the exact professional strategies you need to shoot them. So I'll leave you with this. Are you ready to see beyond the staged mirrors and curated props, step off the beaten path, and capture the true, authentic magic of Bali for yourself? Get out there, chase the light, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.